Hey guys, welcome back for another video. We have some breaking news that came out late last night on the MLB front, particularly with the New York Mets. Uh, Jeff Passan did report that the Mets were going to be re-signing Pete Alonso to a short-term deal, 2 years, 54 million, 10 million signing bonus, 30 million up front this season, 24 million next year with a 1-year release. He could opt out after his first year, but the big news is Pete Alonso is back to the Mets. First things first, guys, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments about this or anything else sports wise, make sure to drop it below. I will respond to everyone. Guys, we've gone over football, basketball, baseball seasons coming on. Make sure you're following along with us. But this is big news. We just had our projected Mets lineup come out. I think it was 2 to 3 days ago. We had that video come out. I showed what the Mets lineup would be without Pete Alonso. But more importantly, I said they were probably going to resign him. And if they do, what's their potential starting lineup going to be with Pete Alonso? To me, this does take this lineup to another level. They were just outside of it, but now they are definitely in the top 5 MLB lineups overall. You got the Phillies up there, the Dodgers, the Braves. You have some really good lineups. Now you have to add the Mets in. There's speed, there's batting average, and more importantly now, there is power. Pete Alonso was that homegrown talent. You had to bring him back. To me, he was more important for the consistency, for the camaraderie of the team than even bringing in Juan Soto. Pete Alonso came up through the Mets organization. He's that power hitter. He's that cleanup guy. You had to have him back, especially if he can get back to his rookie of the year numbers, 53 home runs overall. Looking at just some of the things he's done, he's second in the MLB since 2019, 226 home runs. He's only behind Aaron Judge with 232. He's 6 home runs behind leading the majors in home runs the last 5 years. That's why you had to bring this guy back. He's he's an important foundational piece to this team. And you got some of those young studs starting to come up. You lost to the Dodgers. You got beat pretty bad by the Dodgers. The Dodgers lineup got even better in the offseason. The Mets couldn't just bring back the same team. They had to improve on where their lineup was last year. You bring in Juan Soto, that makes the lineup better. But if you're not bringing back Pete Alonso, it's going to bring that back down, and you're just basically where you were last season. Now having re-signed Pete and bringing back Juan Soto, that now makes this lineup much better. Pitching staff, a little better. With the lineup, more power, better average, more speed. You're more capable of challenging the Dodgers now, challenging a fully healthy Braves team for that NL title. Your goal is making the World Series, winning the World Series. The only team who was definitely better than them last year was obviously going to be the LA Dodgers. Perhaps this is the season they can challenge them. Just kind of taking an off step, look at what my projected lineup would be with Pete Alonso in here. Just look how deep this lineup is. Look how much power there is here. You have Francisco Lindor leading things off. This is the guy who's capable of hitting 270, 280, 30 home runs, 30 steals. You have Juan Soto coming in next. Juan Soto walks 120 to 140 times a season. High on-base percentage. And he can deliver, probably 35 to 40 home runs. He can hit for average, probably, I'd say. Sometimes people's first year with the Mets is kind of a shaky season. Hopefully that's not the case with him. He went to New York, did just fine. Hopefully he can hit, I'd say, about 290 this season. Then you have Mark Vientos. Young guy, showed what he was capable of last season. Hopefully he follows that season up with a similar season this year. This is a guy who's capable of hitting 30 home runs and 300. This is a really good hitter. He just has to follow up last season's performance. Then you have Pete Alonso cleaning things up. Hopefully he gets back to 40 home run Pete, and then the Mets are going to be set. Then you have Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo did not have a great season last year, but he showed a lot more pop than he has over his last seasons. He's capable of that 20 to 25 home run area. Then you have Francisco Alvarez. He's been up and down. He's been battling injuries, but we also know what his ceiling is when he's on. He just has to realize his own potential. Then at 7, at the DH position, that's kind of a tough one. They are very weak in the outfield, very weak at DH. I still want that. I would love for them to Sean Bregman, but it's probably not going to happen. But my dream case scenario for the Mets would be them bringing in him, but they're going to have Jesse Winker, Starling Marte, who hopefully has to get back to his performance, but at least he gives you some consistent speed on the base paths. 8, Siri, Taylor. Still very weak in the outfield outside of Juan Soto. Then you have Jeff McNeil, who could hopefully get back to his old performance. This is a guy who's won the Silver Slugger, won the batting title, very high ceiling. He just has to get back to small ball Jeff McNeil, dink and dunk, just get on base. Now, you might be saying, where is Acuna in this lineup? This is my day one starting lineup. I think Acuna is going to be the starting infielder at some point this season. I just don't know if it's going to be day one, but we're going to find out a lot more after spring training. If he lights it up, they will not be able to hold him back from giving him a starting position in the infield, which would be great. He's the future. He's going to be somewhere in this top line. If he starts off spring great, you got to move him up. He would be your perfect leadoff guy. Has pop, but he has speed to get on base, just like his brother. Guys, we just wanted to break that news. Pete Alonso is back. Big news if you're a Mets fan. Interesting news if you're a Dodgers fan. You still have the best team in baseball, but now you're watching the Mets and you are keeping your eye on them because they're one of those teams that could potentially challenge you in the NL. Guys, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop it below and I will respond. Thank you.